This is a beautiful tea. I love how curly it is. It's black, so it's fully oxidized. But look at this shape. I can't decide. I mean, normally I would think of a shape like this as maybe hand rolled, but it seems to be kind of rolled out and then, curved in on itself, like folded in on itself, like you would take a piece of thread and, go back and forth to tidy it up.
Yeah, it's almost like little knots of some sort.
Yeah.
Some of them.
So I think it's rolled and then somehow shaped back up. It's very unique. So here's the packaging from Tea Source out of Minneapolis. And this is, I guess it's a Zhang black tea, which is a location in China. And so we see here a sheet, I'm not going to say it out loud so hubby doesn't hear, of what it tastes like.
Mystery.
So here's the color of the tea. It's a classic brown tea color, I think. It's got a little bit of a red to it. This is just after a very short steep. And there's what the leaves look like. I think they're beautiful. Nicely black. I took a few out. Of course, they're going to uncurl some more. We'll look at them again after some more steeps. Got the second steep going on. So here are the leaves after the second steep. We were talking about how the dry leaves and the wet leaves are kind of like art. So here it is kind of uncurled. You can see they're nice, full kind of leaves. And I'm sure they'll keep uncurling. I've seen a few little sticks too. Here are my tasting notes for this Zhang. I did not look up how to pronounce that. I guess I should have. I bought it from Tea Source. We did the tea testing on March 6th, but I'm just now recording this on the 28th. I am so far behind. The name of this tea comes from the county in the Hunan province of China. It says this tea is made with, you can look that up, Zhu Yi cultivar. In this county, it's a famous tea growing region, and so I looked it up. It's right there in China, and that's where the county is. And here, more specifically, you see the Hunan is right there, and more specifically in the county, it's up here in this corner. Processing, I don't know. Fully oxidized, of course, because it's black tea. I'm going to say possibly hand rolled. I really thought it was intriguing to look at the leaves and try to figure that out. I don't know if they're hand rolled or machine rolled, so there's not much information online. But I did find it interesting how they were kind of rolled and then curled at the end. From the website, it says this tea goes down easy. It has rich aroma and lightly textured dark chocolate and floral flavors, and has zero astringency and a honey finish. So this sounded good to me because of the zero astringency and the honey. And that's why I decided to purchase it and try it. Also, my hubby really loves dark chocolate flavors. Not a fan of floral. I didn't get that so much, so I was glad that I did not get the floral. The aroma flavor, fruit and bakery spice are the categories. It's Smells delightful, I wrote, and I quite enjoy the aroma. However, I did share the aroma with someone at church, and she turned up her nose. I thought that was funny. Not all of us enjoy the same scents. The dry aroma smells like honey, and I was also thinking lychee, which would be the fruit. It didn't say fruit in the website description, but that's kind of what I was getting. And I was thinking the fruit came through the strongest, and I did not identify the chocolate right away. But after reading the suggestion that there was chocolate, I did get it. So I put up the bakery spice category, which is for chocolate. And hubby said immediately that it smelled like chocolate coffee. He loves coffee. I told you he'd like this one just from the description. I'm beginning to know what we like and don't like. So the wet leaves smelt the same as the dry, and that's always a good sign for me. And the honey really comes out for me in the wet. I was also getting some sort of pan-fried aroma. It's something in the fried, and that came out more in the third steeps of the wet leaves. And I can tell you, I've been drinking this a lot since I first made these notes, and that does come out stronger to me and more regularly. That fired kind of aroma, which I like. And I actually like this tea as long as I stick to using a small amount of leaves, as you'll see here in a minute. So the color was brown, as you can see there. The photo even matches that on my color spectrum. We did full for the body. Medium full is the first thought, but it does seem closer to full. I rarely think that a tea is full-bodied, and so that was surprising to us. The description said 0 astringency, and I would not say 0, but it is very low. It's in the bright category that I do like. I tested it by letting it steep for a long time to be sure enough, because I mean, if they're going to say this in the description, I've got to test it. And it is a forgiving tea. That to me is what 0 astringency is more about. That if you inadvertently steep it too long, it does not get impalatable at all. And so that's good. Taste, I do get a bitter taste at first. The website suggests floral, and I've always thought floral was bitter, but then again, I do not like floral, but I do get the pan-fried. These are my initial thoughts, but I have no idea if it's even fired. Like a cast iron pan on a campfire, and you get some of that fire on it. That's what I wrote. That's what I was thinking. I still think that. Of course, chocolate is bitter, so I really think it is the chocolate coming out in the taste more. The honey seems to be non-existent, but maybe the lychee is still there. So that's something I look for, consistency from smell to taste. And the honey was in the smell, but I didn't get it in the taste. Of course, hubby still thinks it tastes coffee-esque. He calls it coffee-esque. And I don't get that at all. I did taste this brewed in a small glass pot first in the morning before we did the official tasting. And there was less tea and more water. And I actually really loved it this way. For me, this tea is more pleasurable not as strong. Oh, I should reword that. Oh, sometimes you read what you write later. This tea is less pleasurable, brewed as a strong tea with more leaves. So, yeah, so that is the key for this tea that I have learned. I had more leaves in it when we did our official tasting, and I really didn't like the tea. But when I had done it earlier that morning with fewer tea leaves to brew uh, a less strong batch, I really liked it. So there was this definite fine line of uh, too strong of tea for this tea. And ever since then, I've been being sure to use just a small amount of leaves, which I like because I save money if I use less leaves. And I have been enjoying this tea. Um, we put drying and tannic for the finish, and I think we both got that. I think most of the bitter is in the finish, and it is so odd that I'm liking this less and less in the Kaiwan, but I loved it earlier with fewer leaves. So I think that's the key. When I made it too strong, the drying and tannic was too much for me in the finish. It was not so prominent with fewer leaves. At first I wrote maybe more like 3.5 hearts. If brewed less strong, I love it. See, this is me writing when I first tasted this tea and I couldn't figure out uh, what I wanted to rate it as. Um, if I brewed strong, I only like it. So as a strong tea, it gets 3 hearts. More like 3.5 hearts if it's brewed with less leaves. I would buy the tea again. Hubby is enamored, he said, but he loves coffee and chocolate, and I not so much. I do love the aroma, and I give the aroma 5 hearts. I would enjoy this aroma in a candle. I can sit and sniff this cup before I take a sip and just relax and be comforted. I do not think this is affected by astringency, so length of brewing is okay, but it is affected by strength, so I need to be careful how many leaves I use. That's a good thing, though, because if I use less leaves, it lasts longer and it's more cost worthy. I've already said that. We tried to make it with some sugar, and although it is not necessary to use it to drink it, which I like that you don't need to use sugar to drink it, it makes it really good sweet tea. So I'm back to 4 hearts. I kept dropping in 3 and 4 hearts. And I settled at 4 after I realized what a great sweet tea that this makes. And in fact, maybe I'm going to get up today and make me some sweet tea and iced tea, because that just sounds good.